with our What is a Government book, okay? So who can remind me what we talked about yesterday? Kristen, thanks for raising your hand.
We talked about all the money systems and
So the systems of the government, right? How many did we talk about? Carter? 8, yeah. Can we recite them? You can look in your book. Nolan, give me one.
money system,
Money systems. Kat, give me one.
laws,
Good. Maddie, give me one.
military forces,
Awesome. Noah, give me one.
Environmental policy.
Beautiful. Daniel, give me one.
healthcare,
Nice. Osiris, give me one.
education,
We get all of them?
No.
One more. James.
transportation systems,
Beautiful. Bryce.
architectural and industry.
Agriculture, right? Yep. Agriculture and industry. Do you remember what that big agriculture word meant? Who can remind us, James?
It's like the food off the farm.
Yeah, agriculture is like farming, right? So like wheat, corn, barley, all that good stuff, right? Veggies. Zach?
And also one more is education.
Okay, I think someone said that.
Osiris said.
Perfect. Did we get them all?
Yes.
Awesome.
Healthcare.
Healthcare. Yep, we got that one too. All right. Beautiful, friends. Okay, turn to page 10. Early governments. Let's see, Gage. All right. So, finger check is this reads, friends. Governments developed in different places at different times. Just as people have different histories, cultures, and expectations, so do their governments. From the earliest times, people have created governments to meet their needs and to look after themselves, their families, and their communities. Ooh, so what does expectations mean, friends, when they say, just as people have different histories, cultures, and expectations, so do their governments? What does that word mean? Tora?
Maybe like rules.
Rules?
Rules and laws.
Okay, rules, I like it. Gab?
Plans.
Okay. Like if I have certain expectations for you guys, for our third graders, what does that mean? Maybe a plan. Bree?
We have like a level we want to
Okay. Yes. I'm looking for one more word. Finn?
What the word was?
Expectation.
Expectations are the things that you want to know that you learn from,
Right.
that you want to see from them.
Okay. Right. So if I have high expectations for you guys, I'm expecting you guys to rise to an occasion, right? Does that make sense? Okay. So in our book, they explain it as beliefs. Okay. So another word for expectations is what?
Beliefs.
Okay. Great. Let's continue reading, my friends. The first governments. For thousands of years, people didn't need governments. Humans lived in small groups, usually made up of families or relatives. Everyone shared the work and everyone talked together to solve problems. These groups might have had a leader who took control in times of danger, but most decisions would have been made by the whole group. As time went by, people started to grow more food. Because of the development of permanent agriculture, people settled near their fields. Slowly, these settlements grew into larger communities. Okay, let's read our captions. That top one says prehistoric cave painting in Zimbabwe. It's pretty cool. Okay, and then the next one says this 3,300-year-old clay map of an ancient Mesopotamian city in present-day Iraq shows irrigation systems, roads, and public buildings. This city must have had a government to organize these words. Holy smokies, guys. So 3,300 years ago, people were already like creating civilizations. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were pretty, do you think they were pretty organized?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Good. All right, let's keep on reading. The benefits of being part of a large group included safety in numbers and having a large workforce for building or farming projects. As the group grew larger, the need for organized government became greater. In some communities, leaders were granted power by their people. In other places, a powerful person seized control of the community. Whatever the form of government, the leaders developed laws that the people had to follow. Some rulers were fair and kind to people, but sometimes the people were taxed heavily or enslaved. What does enslaved mean? Right, hon? Okay. So, were you free if you were enslaved?
No.
No. Did you have control over anything?
No.
No. Oh. Tora?
You had to do whatever someone said. That was like law. You couldn't do whatever you wanted to do.
Right. And do we see this in like today's society, like in the world today? Do we see good leaders and bad leaders?
Yes, you do. I mean, what is the president of Russia doing?
Pooping. Exactly. So have things, I mean, we've grown in a way of like better technology and stuff, but have we really learned our lesson in the sense of like leaders? Like there's some good leaders, but there's still bad leaders, right? Right?
Right.
Finn?
You shouldn't explain the slave like you do that, you do that, you do that, you do that, and you don't get to talk about it.
Yeah, not fun, huh? Not cool. All right, ancient Egypt. Okay, for centuries, the people of ancient Egypt who lived alongside the Nile River were ruled by dynasties or families of rulers known as pharaohs. When one pharaoh died, his son or brother, or sometimes his wife or daughter, became the next ruler. Ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaohs were not ordinary humans, but were divine, or gods in their own right. Pharaohs lived in great luxury. They had the power of life and death over their subjects. Pharaohs built pyramids as their final resting places.
That's what I think is really cool. I mean, all those people making and doing all those traps in the pyramids, I think that's really cool.
It's crazy. So, yeah, how crazy, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, they were able to build these pyramids. Like with the technology we have today, I feel like it would even be tricky, right? But they did it without, I mean, craziness.
I mean, it probably took a long time though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, right?
Oh yeah, millions. It says
Yeah.
in the book that I was reading last night that for one pyramid it took like 15 years to make. It was really big though, and and thousands of people worked on it, and some people went through their life doing that job.
That's crazy. And a lot of them are still standing today, right?
Yep.
So they did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bryce?
At the bottom of the page there's a little pyramid.
I
know.
All right, let's read that little caption with that picture.
I love it.
Okay, it says Pharaoh Khufu of Egypt, 2551 to 2528 BC. What does BC stand for? Read.
Before Christ.
Good. Okay. Used local workers and sometimes slaves to build the Great Pyramid. And that's in the center there. Finn.
I don't think camels can be pharaohs. And there's a person on the camel.
Oh. It's not saying that. I don't think it's saying that that guy is a pharaoh.
I love a camel.
So this Pharaoh Khufu was that was his great pyramid. Does that make sense? So he's probably buried inside that pyramid?
That one looks
One
the
in the
least.
middle.
It says the one in the center.
Yeah, that one looks the least good out of all of them. The one in the this near the 11, that one looks like really well.
Yeah,
And
it
then
still
this
looks
one
pretty.
right here kind of looks like it's been this way.
Yeah,
And that one looks
I see. All right, friends, let's turn the page. We're gonna go to ancient Greece. Awesome. All right, finger track is Miss F reads, friends. Okay, ancient Greece was made up of many small city-states, such as Athens, Sparta, and Thebes. There was no single ruler over the city-states. Each city-state had a different government system. Almost 3,000 years ago, a form of government called democracy, from two Greek words meaning people and rule, was invented in the city-state of Athens. In a democracy, all citizens were allowed to take part in making decisions. Citizens voted on all decisions. They took turns serving on a council that developed laws. They served on juries to decide whether or not someone had broken the law. This democracy wasn't perfect. Not everyone in Athens was considered a citizen. Women and slaves couldn't take part in the government. Citizens didn't always have enough information to make careful decisions. However, the democracy in Athens was successful for many years. It also inspired many present-day governments. Wow. Does that kind of sound similar to like how we, so if you go to court, if you get in trouble and you go to court, does that kind of sound similar to how we do it?
Yeah.
Like a jury, right? So the citizens or people in our community come and they are the ones that help decide if someone broke the law or someone is not guilty. Does that make sense? Okay. What's a synonym for inspired? So this inspired a lot of today's government. James,
Like,
something inspires you.
made it so you want to do something.
Yeah, okay. What's a synonym though? We have to use one word. Rayhan? Kind of tricky. Okay. So you're wanting to do what they're doing, yeah.
Non-interested.
So if you're inspired, so a synonym, same meaning, right? No, you're good. Carter.
Interesting.
Interested? Is that what you said?
Yep.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Finn?
Carter stole mine.
Okay. Anybody want to try? James?
Oh, well, that was not
Okay. Rayhan?
Interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking. Motivated. Everybody say motivated.
Motivated.
So if like someone inspires you to
Paint.
play soccer and it's your favorite soccer player, they inspire you, right? They motivate you to want to do better and play soccer, right? Okay. James?
And also, I know what, I listened to this, it's like fake stories about, so the Greek culture, they thought that there was hundreds of gods, like lots of gods, and there's a podcast that I listened to, but it also, I know what Sparta is, I've heard of that, and I know a lot of the continents, and it teaches me a lot about Greece.
Ancient Greece is really fun to learn about. So is Egypt. You guys will get there. Right, Bryce? Okay. Quinn?
My dad inspires me to be tennis player, and I sometimes watch tennis, so that inspires me to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right, my friends. Okay, ancient Rome. Oh, I didn't do the little captions. Okay. Let's do the top one. It says, Pericles was a champion of democracy in ancient Greece. He built the Parathon, a famous temple.
There's a picture.
Oh yeah, here it is. The Parathon today. Ooh, still standing impressive.
Yeah.
It was 3,000 years ago, so that's pretty impressive.
Is this like a new book? Or is it?
This one, let's
When did
see,
it come out?
it came out, is it on the back? Let's see, they usually have it listed.
I mean, there's a tag on the back. Something out of it.
Haha, let's see, it was, well, it was copyrighted in 2005.
Oh, that was like.
How many years ago? Did you math? Carter,
17 years ago.
nice,
So it's probably.
but I think it's still standing.
Or maybe that one got destroyed and it was gone. And then that one got
No.
I think so. I think that's the actual one.
They're still open? I don't think so. I feel like one tap on the pillars, they can pull it down.
Well, they're
That's
pretty
just what it
strong.
looks like in the picture.
You probably aren't allowed to mess with it, right? But
Yeah.
You
But
can
I'm
probably
sure
walk
you
around
can
and
still
look at it.
vandalize it.
yes.
I bet.
All right, I'm gonna read that last little caption. Listening ears. It says a rich woman is shown washing on a 4th century BC vase. Even wealthy women were not allowed to vote in ancient Greece. Crazy. Marcus?
This is about ancient.
Oh, we were still on ancient Greece sometimes. Now we're gonna start ancient Rome.
Those are probably my two favorites.
Perfect. Glad you guys are interested. Okay, ancient Rome. The city of Rome was founded in 753 BC. At first, Rome was a monarchy governed by kings. What's a monarchy? They have a monarchy in England still. That's your hint. What do you think, Quinley?
A king or a queen?
Yeah, so like a
country
royal.
headed by a king, queen,
A wealthy
czar, or
person?
sultan.
Aha. So a monarchy is when a country is still run by a royal family, right? Okay. So let's keep reading. Many of these kings did illegal things in order people to do things they didn't always want to do. In 509 BC, the monarchy was overthrown and Rome became a republic. 2 consults or leaders ran the republic. One was a wealthy member of the upper class and the other was a member of the working class. The Roman Republic lasted until 27 BC, when one consul named Augustus seized power and became the first Roman emperor. He had absolute power over every citizen in the Roman Empire, which soon stretched across most of Europe and North Africa. The Roman consuls and emperors all took advice from the Senate, which was the main lawmaking institution in Rome, just like the Senate is in the United States today. That little caption on the top says, Claudius was a strong emperor who ruled from AD 41 to 54. Excuse me. Oh. Read. After death, yeah. So after death and BC is
Before
Christ.
good.
And see.
Quinley, comment?
Augustus, there's a boy named Augustus in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep, there sure is. All right, I'm gonna read that last little, last little blurb there. The ancient Roman Senate building is still standing in Rome, Italy. Crazy.
Talon.
Marcus,
There's a show called Who Was, and on the very last episode, it's about one of the Roman empires. One of the Roman
emperors?
Yeah.
Or-
And there was a
They
fact
tried my
that
Marcus is good. Go ahead,
And
Marcus.
it says in there that they wash their clothes and brush their teeth with pee.
Oh, do you know why?
Because they don't have water.
Well,
No.
and yeah, and urine, is actually, like, if you get a jellyfish sting,
You have to pee.
you use urine to,
Oh.
so it's actually like very sterile. You know what sterile means? clean.
What?
Crazy.
But it's gone through your body like 15 million times.
That's why. Because your body filters out. That's your body literally filtered it out.
It's like food.
Yes. Crazy, huh? Really gross now.
But it's smells.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright. Alright, moving on, moving on. Daniel, one more thing.
Just saying I already knew about that because I watched it.
Yes. Okay, we gotta move on, friends. So we have time for our first rotation today. 2 more pages, okay? So, rulers around the world. Ooh. Okay. Ancient Egypt was ruled by pharaohs who thought they were gods, while ancient Greece was governed by its own citizens. Historically, however, most countries have followed ancient Rome and have been ruled by a monarch. These monarchs have had different names. Some were called emperors or kings and queens, while others have been called sultans or tsars. Generally, monarchs inherited their title because they were the eldest male child. However, from 1300 to 1922, there was an empire based in Eastern Europe and Western Asia known as the Ottoman Empire. When the Ottoman Sultan died, his son had to fight each other before one, or his sons, had to fight each other before one could take control of the empire. The victorious one that killed the others. This system continued until 1603, when the eldest son succeeded his father automatically. The oldest monarchy in the world is in Japan. The imperial line is said to date back to 2,600 years to the first emperor, who was a descent of the sun goddess. Japanese emperors were believed to be gods, but much of the real power in Japan belongs to military rulers known as shoguns.
Yeah, those are cool.
Marcus, question?
So the older son who won gets to kill the own brother.
So if there was more than one sibling in your family, and you had to fight for the
I
power,
would go high.
isn't that crazy?
That's
That would be
sad.
sad.
That's like what happened to Wings of Fire.
Be very sad. All right, friends. If you have a comment, please raise your hand. Rayhan, thank you for raising your hand. Oh yeah. Did you watch it? No. Tora.
I was just saying, like, if there were twins, they could fight, but like, if one was older than the other, then why can't just the oldest one go first?
Right. Well, and that's what they said a lot of the time, right? Generally, monarchs inherited their title because they were the eldest male child. Okay, Bryce?
Well, if you did fight each other, I don't think you would want to fight each other.
No, it's not.
Like, so what happened if nobody wanted to take over?
I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah, you have to.
Somebody has to probably take it.
Yep. You don't have a choice. Gav?
What happens if they go to the exact same time?
I don't know if that would happen.
That is like,
Or if
that's
they
like
both.
1%
I'm not
chance
sure.
that would ever happen.
Gage?
It's kind of the same with Baldi, but it's like, if the king and the queen die, then the brothers fight over the king.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Good connection. Okay, Marcus, last thing.
If I had to fight my brother, I would be ruthless and slash him.
Oh my, is that appropriate right now?
Marcus. Everyone run.
I know in real life, Marcus. Oh,
I wouldn't do that.
Miss Esther. But I know in real life you would be sad.
Yeah.
Ben?
I mean, if you had to, like, if you were in like a box that was like with spikes and you were supposed to be in. Okay, why are we even talking about this? I mean,
Okay.
that's not really what we're supposed to be doing.
All right, come back to the friends. I can't yell because my voice is a little. I'll wait till I'll play it. Marcus, Ben, Bryce. Okay, let me read these little captions. So the top one says Solomon the First, ruled the Ottoman Empire from 1520 to 1566. He had complete power, but was a fair ruler. He was known as Solomon the Lawgiver. So it sounds like he was a good leader, right? Okay, and then the last little caption there says Emperor Akihito is the current emperor of Japan.
I don't think he is now. Because he's 17. When was it happening? 2005.
2005, it said.
People still, the places still have to.
Okay, friends, I'm going to remind you one more time before I start taking teacher points. If you have a comment, please raise your hand. Okay? Okay, we have one more page, and then I'm going to go over questions so we can all face our quiz. Deal? Okay, deal, Bryce? Do you need to move spots? Okay, show me you don't need to move spots. The Incas, okay, follow along, friends. Page 15. The Incas lived in Peru in South America in the 1400s. Like the Japanese, the Incas believed that their rulers were descended from the sun. Because their empire was so vast, Inca emperors sent their most powerful nobles to govern distant parts of the empire on their behalf. Today, we are used to women holding positions of power. 450 years ago, this was almost unheard of. Elizabeth I was the exception to this rule. She was only 25 when she became Queen of England in 1558. But she proved to be one of the strongest and most influential monarchs England has ever had. From 1547, Russia's rulers were called Tsars. They had complete power and were known for their ambition and ruthlessness. Ivan the Fourth became known as Ivan the Terrible because he killed so many people. So friends, to put in perspective, I'm 25. So that would be like me being the Queen of England right now.
That would not be awesome.
It would be. Would you all move to England? All right, class. Class.
Yes.
Still talking. Can you take the teacher point, please? I'm sorry you have to do that. Will you write it up there, my friend? Remember, friends, I only have, this is 2 more days with you guys, okay? Let's get some letters before I leave.
That's really low.
Yeah. Well, today and then tomorrow is the last day.
True.
Bryce.
Ivan the Fourth is probably like Putin because Putin's killing a lot of people.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe very similar. Whitney?
You could be the queen of Montana.
I don't know.
No, I don't think I'm much of a queen. I'll sit in the classroom. How about that?
Yeah, queen of first grade.
There you go.
And queen of third grade.
And
Make
third.
sure.
Okay.
You probably should have done it.
Marcus, are you with us? All right. I'm going to read that first little caption there. It says, Pakakutik, we'll go with that, was a military hero who expanded the Inca Empire. He was made ruler in 1438.
Oh, that's a cool fact.
All right, and then that second picture is Elizabeth I of England. And then that final third picture is Nicholas II, the last Tsar of Russia, is pictured here with his family.
Is that the guy that killed people?
No, Ivan the Fourth killed people.
Ivan is terrible. Okay. So what is an did I already talk about that?
Yeah.
Expectation. No, I talked about,
Now you talk
oh, yes, I did. Sorry. So what was an expectation again? Or no, sorry, exception. if I, had rules and I had one exception, what would that mean? Aspen? And Quinley.
That you can do something, just that one thing.
Okay. So, yeah.
Something that you want to do.
Okay, James.
It's like a piece of cloth, but there's a little hole. That
Exception.
hole is your exception because you want. That's the only thing that you allow. That's everything else you have to follow the rules.
So like a special case, right? So exception means what?
Special case.
It means what?
Special case.
Good job, friends. And expectation means what?
Special case.
No, expectation. These both are going to be on your quiz. They sound the same. So expectation, like if I have high expectations for you guys, I used one word. What was it? Rayhan?
Motivating. Motivating.
No, that was inspired. Expectation, beliefs. Okay? So what's expectation?
Beliefs.
What's expectation?
Beliefs.
Good. What's inspired?
Special. Motivated.
Motivated. What's inspired?
Motivated.
Okay, and last but not least, exception is?
Special case.
There we go. Okay,
Confusing us.
I know.
You're confusing us so bad.
I'm sorry, but all three of those are going to be on your quiz, so I want you guys to know them. Okay, so some of our learner bodies are changing into not learner bodies. Okay, what does influential mean? Influential. Like if I'm very influential, and you guys like look up to me almost. What would that mean? You want to give it a whirl, James?
It's probably not, but like you can convince people. Maybe.
Yes. So, if I influence you, I could convince you or something, right?
Yeah, bribe something.
So influential means effective. Everyone say effective.
Effective.
So influential means what?
Effective.
Thank you. What is the meaning of ruthlessness? If you are ruthless.
Marcus said
Finn.
if you want to do something,
So if you're
but you can't
ruthless.
stop yourself.
Okay. Okay. Nolan.
Maybe like you don't care.
Maybe. Okay. Bryce.
Brave.
Brave. Okay. So, like, think of a warrior. You're ruthless. Daniel.
Powerful.
Okay. James.
No mercy.
No mercy. Okay. Quinn. Yes. So if you're ruthless, friends, fierce, vicious, and brutal. So what's our first word?
Fierce, vicious, and brutal.
Thank you. Means what?
Fierce, vicious, and brutal.
Means what word?
Fierce, vicious,
And brutal.
Ruthless.
So ruthless means fierce.
vicious, and brutal.
Did you get it? These, so friends, these are hard vocab words. That's what I want to make sure we understand, okay? Then,
That's how my brother and sister explain me.
oh, I see. All right, 3 more questions. I'm gonna turn you guys loose. What is the name of the leader of the people in Egypt? What do we call the people in Egypt when they're leaders? Osiris.
Pharaoh.
Is he right? Good job, Osiris. What is the advantage of creating a democracy? What would be an advantage of creating a democracy? What's a democracy then? Nolan?
Nolan.
Oh, sorry, I was staring at Nolan Rayhan. I've been doing that a lot lately, sir.
A royal family.
No, that was a monarchy. So a democracy democracy, kind of like the U.S. So not just one person has a say. What else did we talk about? Noah?
A democracy is a system of a government in which citizen takes part of the decision-making progress.
So the citizens have a say, okay? So what is an advantage of creating a democracy? Nolan?
Everyone would be happy.
Okay, yeah, so citizens were allowed to help make decisions, right? And develop laws.
Instead of just one.
Yeah. And would probably turn into a happier community, like Nolan said, right? Okay, how did a monarch inherit their title? We talked about this. If you had more than one, if you were a monarch, so a royal family, how did they decide who would be the next leader? Zach?
They kill each other.
Before that, if you weren't the same age. Nolan?
You were the oldest one.
Yes, the oldest, male or female. Good. Okay, what was a Russian ruler called? Look back if you don't remember.
King.
Quinn.
That's Czar?
Yep, good. Okay, last one. True or false? Okay, we're gonna say it all at the same time when I'm done, okay? Queen Elizabeth I was the weakest and least powerful monarch in England. Good job, friends. Okay, do you want to review our vocab one more time? You feel like you got it? Okay, go ahead and get your quizzes going. Have a big day, guys.
No more vocab.
Shame.
No more vocab.
Yeah, go ask her.